Morning. Welcome everybody. Looks like we're having a problem with one of our streams, but that's all right. We're we're ready to get going. And unfortunately, I had a guest showing up today, but she wasn't able to make it for some reason, so we'll go without her. And what I really want to talk about today is, right, it goes back to how did I get here? So, what really did happen? How did I get here today? And we're talking about anybody in the sales department or anybody in general. It's the end of the month, end of the quarter. How to get here? And that could be that my pipeline was full. I had a great month planned, and boom, nothing's happened. Right? Nothing came through like I thought it was. Or it could be, boy, I had a dead month, and boom, all of a sudden, I got some great things happen, and I was able to close out the month or the quarter much better than I thought. Well, that happens, I think, on a monthly basis to all of us. There's a guy named Zig Ziglar. I think one of his quotes was, "Sales is the only job you can be in the heights of exhilaration and the depths of despair in the same day." Right? Happens to us all the time. So, um, top couple things I want to talk about today is one of the things we have a new thing coming out called Bagels, which is a journaling system that I've been using for about 35 years, and it's one of the things I've given to my clients. And my clients keep saying, "Why don't you write a book? Why don't you write it?" So I thought maybe I'd put it together in a video, and I'm going to offer it to everybody. And it's going to be a short video, and then there's going to be a longer one, but certainly something that if you look at the short video and decide it's something you want, something you can certainly purchase from us. You can go into the comments section and look for my email or my website, uh, www.salesmadeeasy.com, or my email, tom@salesmadeeasy.com. But enough of that. Really want to talk about one of the biggest things I always had a problem with was observations. Um, you know, I think I've always said in sales there's two people. There's the emotional person and the intellectual person. The emotional person is always buying whatever the intellectual person is selling. And so I can't tell you how many times I've walked out of a sales meeting and went, "Oh, I should have asked this question." I was obviously emotional, right? And so it wasn't like I walked through that door and all these intelligent thoughts came into my head. They were there, but they were blocked by emotion. And what gets us emotional? You got to figure out what the triggers are. Um, it could be that what got you emotional was, let's just say, um, at the end of the month and no business. What got you emotional might have been the size of the business, right? It might have been a personality type. There's so many things that get us emotional. But I really want to think about is when you go into an account, how good are you at observing, right? Because if you're not observing stuff, you're probably emotional. You're thinking in your own world, right? You should be a great observer. You should be like a reporter who's constantly looking for things to talk about, as opposed to or ask about, as opposed to constantly talking about themselves. A reporter never talks about themselves. They're there to get the story behind you. And it's really what we got to do is get the story behind them. Are you a reporter? Forget about your stuff. Because when you're thinking about your stuff, you're not listening. You're not observing. So if you walk out of an account and you think to yourself, what did I observe? And it wasn't much, you probably got emotional, right? So a couple things I would do is definitely number one, always have a notepad with you. Take copious notes, right? Because that'll help you stay intellectual. If you don't take notes, anything you repeat is from your emotional washing of it. But if you take notes and you go, "Oh, you know what? So you said this. Let's talk a little bit more about that." You're talking about stuff they've said. So take notes, observe, observe, observe. And so I want to show you something I'm observing. Let's see if we can do this. Let me switch to camera 8. Let's see if that works. Um, let's see, is it camera 8? Camera 8. Let's see if we can switch to that. Yeah. So I've got some cards here. I think you guys can see them pretty well. Oversized cards. But this is a test and observation. I've got 4 queens. One, two, three, 4. I take one of them and turn them face down. The question is, how many are face down? Now, if you were a good observer, you might have seen two of them face down. But a better observer might have seen one, two, three, four face down. And if I take one face up, and I've got one face up, how many are face up? Well, if you're a good observer, you might have saw that there were two face up. The rest of you might have saw that there was one, two, three, four. And as I said, this is a game of observation. So did you observe the color of the back of the queens? Yeah, you're right. This one was blue. This one was red. And you might not notice this one was yellow. And so it's just a game of observation. How good are we at observing stuff? And so if you're looking to try to catch me, you weren't observing other things that were going on. So I want you to go out there and think about this. How good are you at observing things? Just be a great observer. Be a great reporter. Don't be interested in yourself. Be interested in your customer. Your first job is to find out your customer's needs and wants, right? And they might not want you at this point in their life, which is fine. I can just build a relationship. I don't have to sell you. They might not need you at this point in their life. And if I've observed that, that's fine. I can still build a relationship where I can build on. And at some point, when you do need me, you know my name. So today's lesson is about observation. How good are you at observing, right? Be a great observer. And if you're a great observer, you'll be a great, I hate to say the word salesperson. What you'll be great at is you'll be great at building relationships and helping other people. And in reality, in America, you can get anything you want out of life by helping other people get what they want first. So that's today's lesson. I hope you have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next week. I have another guest. We'll get them to show up. We'll tie them to the stakes to show them up. Thanks, everybody.